brush ekya dokita nkitwala akankiteekemu newaaka. Antonio Somesa Samuel Sisye, good morning. Good morning, Director Mother Academy. Did you call yesterday? How was it? Yes, good morning, my people. Matthias, good morning. Give me a phone. Take this. Only funny lifestyles. Markets Tuesday, Naro. Ashes, bundling down. It's not on. It's not working. It's not working. It's ish. It looks like it's going to rain, but I doubt it's going to rain. Sit down a lot for me. Sit down. Yeah, so today we are talking about compliance. Don't forget it. You have a charger? With another style. Good morning. Today is Market Tuesday. You can be asking your marketing questions. In regards to marketing, I also know what I'm talking about, so you can ask anything. Any marketing challenge you have, this is your time. And I'm going to be talking about compliance, so that we for those that don't know what compliance is, we'll get to understand what compliance is. Then you will also get to understand how advantageous it is to your business in so many ways. If you're feeling good, jump. If you're feeling good. Enkuba eringa yagala okutonya sibitegeera. Ate bw'ena etonya tujja giwulira olwayo is going to be war. Boka. Market Tuesday. You can market your services and products and business and write your phone number by writing it in either figures, or you write a word, put underscore, write a letter, no, a number, underscore, another number, underscore, another number, underscore, another number, like that. Market Tuesday. Ebinya mubira balole muzira bwe zisala ebinya. Kyokka biri kumpi ne kesis. Simanyi lwaki ate tebajja ne bafiiringamu ettaka. Good morning, Hashim. That's called a sitcom, Juma. It's a situational comedy, and the way situational comedies are made is they are made in a majority of the time. The sitcoms are made in a single location. The way you see The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory was shot in a single location. Which other show can I tell you that was shot in a? I think Big Bang Theory is the easiest example I can give you if you have watched the Big Bang Theory. It's shot in one location. Actually, the Big Bang Theory even has a live audience. So that's how they shoot the Big Bang Theory. Which other show? I think that's the easiest right now. That's one of the modern sitcoms. So the cafe is a sitcom shot in a single location in a constructed set, on a constructed set, yeah. So that's how it's supposed to be. It will come home very soon. It's I know the Ugandan way, we are used to the film style of TV shows. Yeah, but trust me, you'll like this one. Morning Mosaic, Kiss Fitness, Polycap. What can I use for removing stickers on my windscreen? Where can I get it? Removing stickers, like you have stickers on your windscreen. You can just pluck them off, and after plucking them off, any residue you use petrol to wash them off, to wash the residue off. Even WD-40, I've never actually used WD-40. I'm intending to buy WD-40 and just have it in my toolbox. It seems WD-40 actually has a lot of WD-40 has a lot of uses. I used to think it just helps with removing squeaking sounds from metal and joints and all. Akati no. Moroka jaji ulira. Beganye. Yoroleje mulabe beganye. Ololo yali fudewe na ina asindika. Batekule buteguzi. Achesitegira lwaki tavaayo. Eyase. The engine is not starting. Yani banunga mafuta gigaganye tegalimu. WD-40. I intend to put it in my toolbox. I have a toolbox full of everything. Like if someone came to fix my car, it's just a few tools that I wouldn't have. If someone came to fix something at my home, it's just a few things that I wouldn't have. Hey. What's up? Let him be. It's just a few things that I wouldn't have if someone had to do something at my home. Good morning, Dennis. Simon Ebenezer, good morning. Yeah, even the office was shot in one location. So I think the Mizigo Express was kind of close to home. But the difference with Mizigo Express is that it wasn't shot on a constructed set. Majority of these Hollywood sitcoms are shot on constructed sets. You get, like the cafe was a constructed set from scratch. Like even the office was a constructed set. Big Bang Theory, that one I'm pretty sure. And majority of Tyler Perry's shows are shot on constructed sets. Actually, Tyler Perry has like over 100 acres of land, and those 100 acres of land only have that guy's sets only. Arthur, my next question. I have a friend who has 7 million but wants a Vitz. I gave him your number to pays 50k and calls you for advice. Because me, I told him that's little for a good Vitz. That's very little money for a good Vitz. Probably if he doesn't mind buying one that has a bad engine and then later replacing it, the problem is that the Vitz engines are expensive. You may end up investing another 3 million in the engine. And then normally when you change an engine, there are other associated costs that come with it. Broken things, you put a new engine and then the gearbox might be weak and all stuff like that. So it's when someone intends to change an engine, it's important that you change an engine of a car that you have actually driven for some time. You see the way I changed the engine of my car, I had driven it for more than a year. So I knew how it moved, I knew what I needed to fix, you get it. So but for a car that you're buying knowing that you're going to, and even then the Weber engine is bad, it's very hard to find a Vitz at 7. But it's possible, you get it. But that friend of yours should probably be able to understand that he's going to buy a Vitz that will be in not very good shape. As long as he's clear about that, in case he gets one that is in very good condition, well, that's his profit, right? Yeah. There are chances. One thing I've learned is that everyone has their luck. There are times we've gone to the field to inspect cars with people and all of a sudden we find a car that is totally unbelievable. And then you start asking yourself, man, where was this car hiding all along? You get it? Good morning, Kavuma Farouk. Pade Pade. Peace. Joseph, how are you today? Every time I come over, you make me beg. Yeah, so it's Market Tuesday, guys. We are talking compliance. We are talking compliance, and why it's important. And just to remind you, if you have a business around Kampala and you think people should know about it, this is your time to tell us about it. You go 5. Never comfortable, but the comfort costs a lot of money. Avuze karakitisa asinga okalaba onakalinga kebaka ko kubera kukubo naye oba n'emirembe. Good morning, Chairman Zach. How are you today? So market today, we are going to try and dissect compliance, because compliance is also a marketing. It's a marketing role. The other departments. What?
Some people are talking
that what? What do they say? So we are going to be talking about compliance. It's not working. I don't know why. Give me yours. But like when you send WhatsApp, does it work? When you send WhatsApp to people, does it work? Good morning, people. Abadi Mukamori. So today we're going to be talking compliance. But why did you put all those chargers? The chargers I bought, there were so many. Like you had it switches me off. But anyway, So today we're going to be talking about compliance, and it's very important for us to understand what compliance is. As an individual, as a business, as a family, as a team, you guys need to be compliant with something at least. For starters, we need to understand that every country, every society, every community has laws. Every place where we are, we have rules, right? And compliance basically means that you're complying with laws, with what you're expected to be doing. Like for example, in my home, these kids are expected to comply with some things. Their lack of compliance means they are being disobedient. It means they are being big-headed. You don't want to be one of the people, or you don't want your business to be one of those businesses that are not compliant. Now, for starters, as a business, how is compliance a marketing role? It's very easy to market a business that is complying to the law, to regulations, to industry standards. You get. So complying means complying basically means that you pay attention to whatever laws, rules, and regulations that exist in your operating environment, and then you make sure that you go by them. You don't go against them. You make sure that you are for them and not against them. Why? Because then that's a compliant company. For example, in Uganda, there are a number of things that we need to comply to. And the first one being the supreme law of this country, the constitution. The constitution of this country has a number of laws that it lays out, and those laws, everybody, you need to remember. You need to remember that for starters, a company is an entity. A company is a person in its own. That, for example, my company Dynamo Creative Arts is an individual, is an entity. You need to know that Dynamo doesn't need me to survive. Dynamo in its own can survive without Arthur. Okay, it will get another director, it will get another producer, and business will keep moving as usual. Okay, so Dynamo as a company is an entity, and just the way I comply with the Constitution of Uganda, so is Dynamo supposed to. So this means that Antonio is an individual. Nimba Services is also an individual. Normally, remember when we were talking about companies and registration, and then we talked about you registering your company as a limited company and the advantages that come with it. Yeah, and then we were saying that when you register your business as a limited company, it becomes an individual. It means that you are not charged. You are not charged for the mistakes, for the law mishaps, or whenever your company breaks the law or does something wrong. You cannot be charged. They instead charge the company. That's why you find that companies like Middle East Consultants, MS Kasuru Property Consultants, the very first property consultant company, or the first real estate company in Uganda. Like it survived in Uganda, and the directors were never charged. It's of course under the law they can find ways to charge you. You get, but you're safer than someone that did not actually register a limited liability company. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So under normal circumstances, when you start a business, to protect yourself in a certain way, register a limited liability company, because then it's separate from you. So, and of course that's one way for you to be compliant. Like businesses are supposed to be businesses, individuals are supposed to be individuals. You don't be an individual and then you have a number of shops. younger government those number of businesses. That's why they'll go to every shop and issue it a license, a trading license, whether you like it or not, and they'll force you to pay for that trading license. Yeah. So the first level of compliance you need is the compliance to the law of the land, and that's the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And then of course the Constitution will then dictate that you need to pay taxes, you need to pay for trading licenses. The Constitution still dictates that you'll need to have equal employment opportunities, like employ everyone equally. You don't discriminate people according to their looking at their sex. You don't discriminate people because they are black or white, or because they come from a certain tribe and all that. Yeah, so everybody, you're supposed to be an equal opportunity employer, and whenever you do that, you're being compliant. When you pay taxes, you're being compliant. When you pay your employees, you're being, every time you see everything that spells compliance, whenever you're not compliant, then you can actually be locked up. Your business can be closed, your license can be cancelled and all that. If you're manufacturing plant, then you're supposed to comply with UNBS standards. Katingabwe Antonio Okora Welding, there are standards. Those standards, you need to be compliant with those standards. If you're not compliant with those standards, UNBS can wake up one day and they say, you know what, your work is substandard. We cannot accept that you be selling these things to people. Let me read these comments. Okay, let me see. Okay, some people have marketed. Peace. Mutumba Pade is saying, Arthur, my bro want to sell unfinished house. He wants to do business, but right now the house is non-profitable. Any advice? Personally, I wouldn't advise anyone to sell a house they have already invested in to do business. Why? You have already invested money in that house, and when you're selling a house that is probably like unfinished, you find that you invested about 55 million in that house and I'll be giving you 40 million. You're already losing money. And just in a business, but you may not. You may actually even lose all your investment. That's one thing you need to understand. You may lose all your money. So this is, for personally, I've started businesses with nothing. So many, and I'm sure some of you guys have started things with nothing. Like you have nothing and then you start and then you make money. One of the ways people start businesses with no money is by doing partnerships, collaborate with other people, and then you'll be able to Ragnar, put on your shoes, and then you'll be able to start a business probably with the capital that another person provides you, or you start money. You start business with no money. There are businesses you can start with no money. Yeah, those are things I've done before. For you to start a business, you have to sell your house and then start. And trust me, those shops, business, you can start in another person's shop and even build his own shop. Hello everyone, we sell silage and hay for dairy, goats, beef, animals, oxidized. Peace Joseph, take a number, Baba. A number, the way you can write your number. Where did you guys put my pen? Huh? Yeah, where did you put my pen? I want to demonstrate to these people. Where did you put the pen? Give me my book. The big book there that you were playing with. It's here. Yeah, give me that one. Give it to me. So I want to show you, someone showed us how to write the phone numbers there. So I think the way you're going to write the phone numbers, I think this is a little tilted, but yes, 0, 7, 7, like that. That's how you write the figures. Yeah, that will make, or you can say 0, 7, 7, and write it like that. Yeah, that way your number will actually go through. So whenever you advertise your business, make sure that you share your phone number or email address. Yeah. Juma, that friend should leave the house. I think so too. Majority of, motivational speakers can be there making you believe a house is a liability and all. Who say it? You people. Some of these things are assets. Your car is an asset. Your house is an asset. Ochitegera. Deep in coffee, good morning, and looks for other money to stop. Yes, Juma, Orimutufu. Arthur of Chiseka and Deva. Which place has the best car engines and genuine spare parts? I think all parts have fake dealers, and all places have fake dealers, and all places have genuine dealers. That's one thing I think one way to do is to try and trust your mechanic, and also try and read as much as possible about engines, especially if you want to replace an engine, because these engines actually change. Like the problem I had when I changed the engine, this engine has a tiny change from the engine that was in here. That's why I was having trouble, and it was fixed. So sometimes don't buy an engine with an inexperienced mechanic. And you know, when you're driving a car that is, especially the guys that drive new cars, you guys have very inexperienced mechanics, because that brakes, see bushes, that and even me I can do. So normally you guys have inexperienced mechanics, and when it comes to replacing engines, they may not know exactly how to do it. They may not even know how to pick an engine. So you just have to get someone that is actually good at their job, and they'll help you choose a good engine, regardless of where they get it from. But all those places have good dealers, and they all have bad dealers. Amina Hanaba, good morning. Morning, boss. I always wanted to have a live feel of this show. You're really good at what you do. Amina Asisi, thank you. Abby, good morning, everyone, for the love of cars. Good morning, Abby. Antonio is saying, in this Persian Gulf, most of these companies are registered as limited liability companies. That's the best way to go about it. Of course, there is a limited liability that is, you're limited by guarantee, not limited. You don't have limited liability. You actually guarantee this business that, okay, we'll live here. I think this is the way accountants register their businesses. It's the way architects and all that. Those guys that are, yeah, that are highly regulated. About business, please talk about group of companies and how they pay taxes. So what happens is you can have a number of companies, but then you want to have them under one parent company. That's how a group of companies comes about. You get it? So you say Arthur Limited, Chisenyi Limited, Rolf Limited, Urban Limited, and then all those. But then you say, I want to have a central managing place. That's how you have a group of companies. That's how Simba Group is formed. And he has a number of companies, but then he wants to be chairman of all those companies. So each of these companies has a CEO, and all these CEOs report to one CEO, one major CEO. You get it? So what happens is all these companies actually pay taxes individually. Or you can decide that all these companies, their accounts are done, and then they're done under one umbrella, and then it's the parent company that actually pays taxes for all of them. Yeah, I don't know. Then accountants and lawyers can come and advise as well. But that's normally what I've learned. But you don't really. Speaking of registration of companies, please talk about limited by shares and limited by guarantee. Oh, you see such words nice. Limited by shares is that it's your shares. Like if a company runs into a problem, a financial problem, if you run into trouble, you pay up to the amount of your shares. Like you have, if a company is worth 100 million and you say you have 50% in that company, if a company runs into problems, you'll have to pay 50%, and that's all you have to pay. So after you pay 50% of that, you're done. But limited by guarantee, you're saying, I'm here. The wendi nja kuyiwa wo mubiri. Those are the differences. So normally majority of the time I would recommend that you register by shares, and yeah, not by guarantee. Guarantee is you guaranteeing that you've been tuja bikodako. So by guarantee actually bakunonako. By shares by nako. Chiwawu is 34 kilometers from Busega roundabout. You live in Chiwawu, Isaac. Na Chiwawu walako. But the only thing is that Chihuahua is actually like on the main road. If you have on the main road, that's the difference with we guys that live in estates. How can you start a business with nothing? Motivation. Samuel, I've done it. One time I'll tell you a story. I've done it. But it's possible. And one way you can actually start is by having friends. I have friends. There is a business bye. I went to a friend's computer shop. He gave me.
the first few customers abajja benagula mu bintu ebinayinetago okugula be bampa sente zinasiigako langi okitegeera, and then the next number of customers found me painting myself. But nange bwobanga, if you have never done something, that's when you think it's actually impossible. But I've done it before. Okitegeera. Tell goodness on Primo. What do you mean, Gordon? Samuel, it's not really motivational. Of course, majority of the time, bobanga, you have a place to start from. You don't really think that you can start with nothing. But if you have been wrong, if you have hit rock bottom, yeah. If you have hit rock bottom, you would know what it means to have nothing, and then you have to start. That's why normally me, I say like, okay, which other place would you start with nothing apart from your home? Limited by shares also indicates how the shareholders will divide the dividends when a company makes profit. It helps to create clarity so that when the money comes in, guys don't just fight over it. But you know, Steve Barros, people still fight even with that clause, even with, because lawyers don't actually explain these things to people. So they still fight. So if there are two owners, they are always thinking we should share 50-50. Always, that's what they always think. Like we should be sharing 50-50, even when they should not be sharing 50-50. Okitegeera. Arthur, I have very new estate, UBP on Mitiana Road. Place is called Chiwawu. The site is 50 meters from the tarmac road. I have 5 plots left. I accept his installments at 13. That's good price, eh? You guys are what an agura plot. These are good offers, eh? 34 kilometers from town and 500 meters. Ogambe 50 meters. That's a very good offer for the guys that have not yet bought land, eh? Chiwawu is on the main road, by the way. At Mitiana Road, okujako Ebusega, but the other places don't actually have jam. Skill businesses don't need a lot of capital at the start. Just have skills and you're good. Thank you, Chris Fitness. Like now, Musomesa, me, I am a marketer, I'm a performing artist. Now, the easiest business I can actually get into without capital, where, like, of course, I would have things that I start with, like a laptop, like I would run ads, but even the ads I ran first at that business in the beginning, started I used to send to Facebook because I had credibility. I put ads that I ran, and the first ad, the very first day, I got a chick that came to get my services, and she was those chicks from Comoros, foreigners. She came and paid full amount. I was charging 500 for a service. She paid all the 500,000. But I hadn't invested anything. She paid 500k ningi na nengula paint because the duka ya chali wangiri yali chafu na nengula paint nengula brush. I came and painted. Ochitegera ningi na nengula yobu tebe. Well, you guys, me I've seen it. So the motivational speakers siva wakanya. When you have not done something, you start thinking that, oh, it's impossible and all, but it's very, very possible, guys. It's very, very possible. So can mweba guy Isaac Abagambi aina estate 13 to 15 million. Aina plot tano zokazi nsigadde wabatanagula plot. Noza Musomesa ochitegedde. Na actually Musomesa is a science teacher. You can start a consultancy business with nothing. Of course, you'll need stuff like a social media page and all that, and a website probably. But these are things that you would do on your own. Like me, I design my own websites. Like it's skill. As long as I have a computer, that's why I invest in very good computers. I invest in machines. I invest in a good phone, because I know at the end of the day, if I hit rock bottom, these two things can actually get me up. Actually, Chris Fitness with skill businesses, sometimes you don't even need capital. All you need is a good network. If you have some good friends that have things you can use, you start from there. But sometimes motivational speakers, of course, but me, I know that when a motivational speaker comes and tells you that they started something, like those guys, I'll tell that motivational speakers don't need capital to make money from you. All he needs is a good speech. Speaks properly, says I have a conference, and you guys will go actually and pay for it. And then he'll make a lot of money. Like this guy, Charles, I'm following on this motivational speaker, I've got Mercedes Benz. That's the one thing I know, because I eat a man with Mercedes. I don't remember his name. You think he needs capital to make money? He doesn't. He can go to friends' offices na tuulamu. When he gets someone that has consultancy, he goes to a boardroom, sits there. Like there are businesses that strictly give you furnished offices, and you can pay hourly, you can pay daily. Go later go kwesa office roba kubidisi mnobagamba ba nyina you meeting inzije. No again, and you use that office, and you can use it. You can subscribe to use their office as an address. There is one at Coastview Towers, fully furnished. You can even pay for tea. Again, you imagine baba wakachai. Only na rose office yo ya kabi. You get it? So sometimes me I know because I've done it, not once. I'm a software developer. We co-founded the company with zero capital. All we needed was our personal laptops and my crib. Ochirabye. Msomesa ndozora wakati evidence etandise okujja. Evidence etandise okujja. Steve Barros, let me ask you a question. Ngabo tugenda mass, ngabo tugenda compliance. If I wanted to develop an app, it doesn't really have to be online, although it could be online with access probably to my website or access to my email when I can access things via my email, the results. And this app, I want to use this app for ticket sales. I want it to be able to print via these small thermal printers. And this ticketing app is, another person can buy it and use it, but it's basically for my company. Like someone comes and they want to watch my show, and they can actually buy multiple tickets. They can buy as many as 100 tickets at once, and then I give them one ticket. But I want this probably to link to an Excel sheet where every sale that goes, we can collect their phone number, email address, we can collect other information. How much would that, an app like that cost me? For the designing, for the creation of the app alone, how much would it cost me? Just for the development. Then we can talk about these other costs. Those I can pay myself. And I want an app that probably doesn't need updating. Like we design it once and for all and we are done. We don't need to update ever again, as long as it has the functionalities that I need. In the future, if I want to add functionalities, then we can talk about it. But those functionalities, someone comes to the box office and they have come to watch my show, for example, and they say I want like 10 tickets, for example. And I say 10 tickets, I write 10 tickets or 10 people, or one ticket covers 10 people, and then they give me their email address, they give me their phone number, right? And yeah, then I count that as 100 tickets sold, you get? And then I have address details and all, and then I print one single ticket like this through the thermal printer, and then I give them. And then I can have, of course we have a back end, but then we have front accesses to different people that have different, we have an admin that sees everything, and then we have people that, we have someone that actually does the ticketing, that has, they cannot see the back end of the totals, but they can actually edit that particular entry they have done. And then we have people at the gate who look at the ticket and they can confirm via their app. They also have access. So I need like 3 accesses, different permissions. Yes. Nendo za musomeso tanto okulaba abantu. People can start businesses with nothing. Like some of these software developers, they work from home. Yeah, Newton Buteraba. Thank you, Hanaba. So these software developers actually work from home, musomesa. They don't even move an inch. I've helped like 4 software developers get cars. Amara okujigula naji parking wakanga ayagala just gira bakabo. For them, all they need is a good laptop. I think the same thing with architects. All he needs is a fast laptop. Akube plani gwomwe sente agenda ja approving and all that. They are writers of TV shows, the writers that write for us. All that person needs, even not a fast laptop, kasa laptop ewanga tevavako, they can write a script and get paid minimum 200,000 per episode. So if that person is fasting a solo episode inga 10 a week, that's 2 million a week. So you can start with nothing. Today, compliance is our discussion today. Why? As a business person, it's important that you comply. You comply first of all with the rules of the land, whichever land you're in. Bobo in a business in the UAE, then you have to comply with the rules. One of the most important compliances you guys need to do is URA. Especially if you ever want to do good business, big business. Because some of the big companies that will give you contracts, for example, will ask you for a tax clearance certificate. URA can never give you tax clearance certificates unless you have been paying taxes or you have been filing returns, because you can file nil returns. You file nil returns, and then when you request for a tax clearance certificate, you can actually get a tax because you have been paying taxes in a way. So you need to pay your taxes. You need to pay for trading licenses as a business, because in every, you know how government collects taxes is through the trading license, through the normal taxes you pay. And then right now, if you have a company like Steve Barros, you and your friend, you actually also need to have NSSF. It's a must now, it's a law. Every business that employs people needs to pay to NSSF. Then of course pay as you earn. And then I don't know if the minimum wage bill actually went through, but there is a minimum wage Arthur, I will drive people from this forum to site for free inspection. Muri de banange. Inspection is free ku site ya Mr. Ruyirika Isaac. Abali wano, it's free inspection. Ogendola be plot jeziri. Then you can decide to pay. Development of such an app can cost north of 8 million, south of 15 million. With one app, 2 back end and reports. Remember, professional fees are subjective and not standard. Izo sente nga nyingi. App naji so atoka kunsomesa skill. It's not like the app is actually going to be too profitable. It's something that we are developing as an innovation for the industry. At the industry of entertainment, it's funny. You guys make money. Your guy starts with just a laptop. We answer $1 million. I tell Steve, what if we work as a collaboration? I pay for some bits, and we co-own this app, and then find a way of commercializing it. You see how you can actually start a business with nothing is by collaboration. Sometimes you if we co-own the app, because it's something that is needed, we co-own it. Of course, people that network. Yeah, so for the guys that are new, that need software development, of course now they are doing all those things, music, sports, swimming, and all those things. They do all those things so that they find their passion as individuals. But along the way, there are courses they are supposed to do. It's a must. Yeah, so compliance. The other things you need to comply with is, of course, we don't have laws that govern how much you're supposed to pay people yet, or what allowances a basic person should be getting, but you should try as much as possible to treat people the way you would want to be treated. That's why it's better for you to employ 3 people and treat them very well than to employ 10 people and treat them like trash or not paying them properly. I understand that there are people that take pride in having a lot of employees. It's not a very nice thing. It would be better for you to have few employees and pay them properly than having many employees and not pay them enough. And of course, there are unwritten laws of compliance. Don't produce products that won't make you money unless you have already made enough money. Like in marketing class yesterday, we were going through sustainable marketing. And sustainable marketing, you basically have practices in your marketing environment where you do stuff that is good for the environment, is good for society, is good for ethics. And we realize that some of these things that you're supposed to do are actually more expensive, are very expensive for the for businesses. So sustainable marketing should probably be reserved for companies that have a lot of money to spend on sustainable marketing activities. You get it? So like businesses like MTN right now are trying to do sustainable marketing. Businesses like KFC, sustainable marketing. They ojukira bagananga obuvera because si bulungi for the environment. And so but for a business that that doesn't have a lot of capital, it doesn't make sense okuwera akavera nenga ata akavera is like the cheapest form for you to use. That's why you find that Rolex stands are still using buvera. Paper bags were too expensive for them. And I think along the way the government kind of pushed the standards a little down. That's why you find that you can go to the market, buy stuff, because that kind of is easy, recycles itself in the ground. What do I have to know when I'm buying shares in a company? I think one of the things you need to understand is how profitable are they, and of course you want to buy shares in a company that speaks to you, a company that does things that you understand. You don't want to just go and buy shares in a company where you don't understand how their business works, what their business model is. You don't want to go and buy shares in a company that you don't understand what their long-term plan is or what their long-term prospects are. Like now we hear that Umeme, their contract is going to end. Now if you went and bought shares in Umeme right now without studying what their future looks like, you'd probably be that's why you'd be investing in a business that you don't know if it will survive the next few years or not. You don't know if they will even file for bankruptcy. I hear that Ghana as a country filed for bankruptcy. They can no longer pay their debtors. Like now, if you went and bought government bonds in a country from the government of Ghana, you'd be investing poorly, because now he has just filed for bankruptcy. For bankruptcy. So all the guys that bought government bonds from the government of Ghana are not going to get their money back, because the government has said the country doesn't have money. So now we need bailouts. The government was honest to set it so you need to look at all those things. So even the guys that are buying from the government, I don't know if the government came and said we are bankrupt right now. You guys that bought government bonds, you'll be paid eventually. I don't know what the law says about that, but one thing I know is that if someone says I'm bankrupt, so let's go back to compliance. Of course there are sustainable approaches that are right now in every industry has sustainable approaches that are like an unwritten law. Like it's not advisable. It's not advisable for like a business to go and buy land and probably try to push people off the land just like that. That's not sustainable. For society, you're not doing a very good job as a company. Yet as a company that is making money from the people, you're supposed to be for the people. That's an unwritten law. Like if you went and pushed people off land as a company, it would affect you. People even stop buying from you because your company has bad manners in a way. I have a brother that already developed such an app. I can tell him to prepare a presentation for you people to discuss. I want commercial part of it. Isaac, please share the number to Lave, because personally I know that my business needs it, and I know a number of businesses that would actually use an app like that. Of course, like commercializing an app like that, you don't get money at once. You can probably get people to subscribe and then commercialize it, like get events people to actually pay instead of printing tickets before, because printing tickets before is actually very expensive. It's tedious and expensive. So if I can actually print tickets on the go, it's even better. So yeah, can you share the number? Yeah, so compliance. You see, Safe Border is being a compliant business by making sure all its riders have helmets, all its riders have reflector jackets. So the reflector thing, even before the government said, oh, every border guy is supposed to have a reflector and all, Safe Border had already done that. Because under the law, that's what the law says. A border guy is supposed to have a helmet and a reflector jacket. The law says that. So Safe Border was actually just being compliant for the laws, and they are being special. By telling their border guys stop at traffic lights, they are being compliant. Again, Fendetulo wasn't they are being special or they are treating their customers special and all that. But they are in a way they're just being compliant. So compliance is an important part of business. The same thing with Uber. You know, when before someone joins Uber, they're supposed to take their car for inspection and all that. For Uber to make sure that the car is safe for the road, it's safe for the people that sit in there. That's being compliant. In a way, our government is also not being compliant with the law. All vehicles are supposed to be inspected annually. Under the law, all our vehicles are supposed to be inspected, but they are never inspected. So I think it's something to do with resources. The government doesn't have resources to inspect. I don't know, we have about 200,000 vehicles in the country. That requires a lot of resources. Yeah, it's the same department that's supposed to be doing the inspection of vehicles. That department is understaffed, doesn't have a lot of resources and all that. So probably what the Ministry of Works is doing right now, by giving digital number plates, which hasn't started yet, that would be a way for them to say, okay, this car has been inspected, this hasn't, let's take that off the road and all that. So, but you realize that there are a lot of compliance issues that we as a country need to work out. But of course, it starts at the policy level, it starts at government level. Neka Tukwenga company, you need to interpret the laws of your business, for example, the laws that apply to your business, the regulations, and try as much as possible to comply. Like for me as Arthur, I would have to comply to the copyright law at every level. For example, if the TV show my TV show starts airing, I'm not supposed to have music that I don't have copyright for anywhere in that show. And if I have music that belongs to anyone, I'm supposed to be paying them royalties. Every time the cafe shows and their song is played, I'm supposed to give them a certain amount of money. That's why I don't have anybody's song. The only song that is in the cafe show is my song personally. Well, because my songs are not even making money for me, so why not just put them in there? So and then the other music that features in the cafe is original music that belongs to my company. The studio signed a contract with my company, and all the rights for that music and songs and all that, they belong to the company that produces the cafe. So that's one way for me to be compliant. The other way to be compliant is that every time I employ someone, they sign contracts and they get paid. You don't use anyone for free. Like I teach a directing class, and I tell my directing students, you should never produce a play, you should never produce a film if you're not going to pay people. Every movie, every film, every short film, every TV show, every play that you produce should be a commercial piece. And commercial pieces pay people. Bano batunda sente mmeka mafuta gaabwe. Ate bano nga bo baseera nnyo. 5 bitano, njagala ga 5 bina 5. Ate nga mafuta gakeededde kati. You get, so it's important for you to understand what you see. These car manufacturers, the car manufacturers, maybe Toyota is not safe and all that. Toyota is compliant. There is a minimum standard. So every time you buy a budget car like a Passo, you buy a budget car like a Vitz, it's not so safe, but it's safe enough according to the standards, vehicle manufacturing standards. They are compliant. Otherwise, their cars would have to be recalled. So when Mercedes-Benz creates a very strong car, well, they are doing the maximum safety standards. But you don't need to have the maximum safety standards for your car to be on the road. That's why some cars are luxurious, and some cars are normal cars. So Toyota makes the normal cars by adhering to the minimum standards. Ani abadangama nti petrol wasatu 5 bisatu. Oyo diesel wa tuna 5 bisatu. Njagala petrol nga 5 bisatu. Nenzi juzeewo. Hey, you want obulango? It's Isaac, me have no problem. We can talk with your brother to Rabe Obulango, but this kategede. Yeah, so you have to be compliant. Like UNBS is one of those organizations in Uganda that help the government and making sure that people are compliant. For example, every time a car is imported into the country, UNBS actually inspects the vehicle and, for example, confirms the mileage, the true mileage of that car, and even puts a sticker on the car. So for the guys that go to the bond, Emotoka yo bw'ogisanga teriko sticker ya UNBS, kitegeeza UNBS yaginspectinga oba yaginspectinga bano sticker ne bagijjako, kitegeeza there is something they are trying to hide. Okitegeera? Yeah, because UNBS is the standards body in the country. Like if you're going to be manufacturing anything, namwe abakola welding, and I think Isaac, even the equipment you use in surveying, that equipment, it's also certified by like UNBS, right? To make sure it's calibrated, but it's a calibration, right? To make sure it's a standard. Name period in the UNBS is supposed to actually look at those tires and make sure that those tires are safe for the Ugandan roads. And of course, after UNBS certifies, then nafe tukola certification yafenga abantu looking at experience. Fenafe tusala want guno mpira gukola bulungi ku ngudo ze Uganda oba gulite gukola. So that's compliance. As a business, you need to explore your regulations the regulations in your industry, explore the laws of the country, and find out where you have to be compliant and where you don't need to be compliant. Which take it and then try and as much as possible to be compliant. Of course, respect the rule of law. Which take it. Kati olaba nga bana abantu abatwala abaana ebweru. There are so many ways that naeba nanga petrol alinye olaba site oil tunda 5 petrol ali waggulu nnyo. So you need to make sure that you are compliant as much as possible. Kiyamba gwe nga business owner to be able to survive in the industry for a very long time. And of course there are people that don't care. I know people that don't pay taxes. And lucky enough for them, even the people they do business with don't even ask for things like, do you pay taxes? Are you registered as and as long as for them they get the product that this person or service that this person can provide, but the day you want to get employment with an organization or a company that requires that you have a tax clearance certificate, that's when you will know that nobody can stop reggae. Me, I pay taxes every year. As an individual, as Arthur, and also as a company, we pay taxes every year. Which said why? Because I know the importance. Like ojafuna ono business ngerike billion sente, baga tax clearance certificate, ngatojirina ngatoina bwojija, and just like that, your opportunity to drive a brand new car will go. Kano kajamu ate kati ani akalese. Kangene pite kwa Kesha Avenue. Sigenda kwemenya. Wakati ono jamu wano bwaba atandikira wano, kuno kugenda bakubona abona kwennyini. Oba nsigale. Nenga atandikidde wala jamu. Naye atambula. Kansigale. So compliance. Today is Market Tuesday. Apart from you, actually, market ipsa muyidi esise mujirengera. Yebasindika wali. On the right of the spacio. Ipsa moro ipsa mjebasindika wali. Yongoma nye musiseko naye ate kyakola. Ate ndabadda side nkyama. Traffic nga yakutte ddawo. Agenda vaamu 5. Lwaki temunywa amafuta gamala bannange? Ate kati awo n'omusirikale alina omuwaayo akasente. Abantu nga batulira namukadde yange. Banange munywa amafuta. For the guys that are in Uganda, munywa amafuta. Tali kitwazanga moroka kusikako. It damages your dignity. It damages your dignity as a person. Dignity. It damages it a lot. And it damages your wallet as well. At I know Sasula. Kati alina okusasula amusindise, asasule board again leeta amafuta, asasule omusikale wa parkinze mmoroka, okitegeera. Olumu n'owa traffic wana amusangira naye amuwe omutwalo, gamba biba biwanvu. Layini kyesinga okutambula. Ndaba ng'eno eya lole yeyinza okutambula. Era eragirawo nti yejja tambulamu. Yeah, so that's compliance, guys. wabuli wosobola okubeera compliant. You see, like this soda company here, the way they have stored their sodas, they are compliant to safety measures. Nti buli kimu kiri munda mu tray yabwe kiri covered. There is no way a soda would come out and hit a person. Ne wagulu ne bateekayo etundubaali. Okitegeera tebakolanga abantu bali abavuga amanda, abasajja abavuga amanda bateeka ensawo z'amanda n'eri waggulu nga mu butuufu ensawo y'amanda esobola okuvaayo neeba neekuba omuntu. Okitegeera, that's not being compliant. Of course I totally understand that they want to make some extra money. Okitegeera nti olumu okutika in compliance ayinza okuba nga tafunako yadde akasente. That I totally understand, but that's why you should not be doing a business that is not profitable. Nze nagaana sijja kukola kintu kitakola profit. That's why nzo omuntu ne bajjanga ayina emitwalo 3 okukola pre-purchase inspection sijikola njagalaana bw'oba togayina tojja. Era n'abankubira essimu nti mbadde nyina kyenkubuuza, sooka oteeke ekizike ku ssimu oddemu onkubire omuneebuuzeeko. I have platforms where you can ask me questions for free. You can ask on the live broadcast. You can ask on TikTok and I answer you. If you come to my WhatsApp to ask me for things, pay. I mean, you find someone wanting to buy a car 25 million, nenga they are not willing to pay 50,000 to consult someone for advice. Ayagala atango obuulize bwereere. Okitegera, ayatamanya ati ate oli omuntu yasasula school fees okufuna ebintu byakola ki, okumanya ebintu byamanyi. Yeah, so the reason why sometimes people are not compliant is because they are doing businesses and those businesses are not actually making money for them. So that I totally find that to be wrong. You'd rather, instead of not being compliant and yet you're doing a business that you want people to know, kola bu business obo butono tono ngensine bwetamanya nti obukola osigala okola sente okitegeera and you don't really have to be compliant. Once you start telling people that I do this and this and this and this, then you need to start being compliant. Okitegeera, the law will get you, regulations will get you. Like there are regulations that are not laws, like that's dustbin thing. Like commercial vehicles, taxis, tour vans are supposed to have dustbins in their cars. That's not a law written in the constitution of Uganda, but then it's there. Bobaksango ovuga taxi nga toyina mu dustbin. You can pay a fine. It's not in the constitution, but that's how you be compliant. Like tour vans zino genda oven is better inspected before they are given licenses to start operating a tour vans. Icho oba mpya oba nkadde mwena mugende musimba line waliwo I oven ebera inspected. I oven akona muti emoroke yoke egende ekoloba tour van, and that's the law. It's you have to follow it. Era bakwata ngo vuga batourist nga toyina license eyo nga I oven yakebera moroka yo, you have trouble. Okitegeera, the law is you can't use your vehicle commercially unless you have a license that permits you to use your vehicle for commercial activities. Kitegeeza Antonio bwe oyagala okukola emmoroka ogiteekeko n'akataano, go get a commercial license. Tobeera na third party license ekkiza kutika abantu bokka and then you start doing those things. Okitegeera, waliyo gye bayita PSV, you want to carry passengers, go get a PSV license otandike okukola ki okuvuga abantu. And it's just like that. Wobo ina lolengo oyagala kutika abantu mu tray emabega, you have to go and get bajita batino that couplet ke bateka ke emabega. Wo couplet ke bateka ke emabega kukizo kutika abantu. Be compliant in your business. It's advantageous. For starters, being compliant gives you an edge over your competition. Like if you went to bid for a project, an artistic project, and my company comes, and also a company that is not compliant comes, definitely the company that's compliant will get the business, because where we are bidding for a project, they want a company that's compliant. They don't want to deal with people that are wishy-washy. Yes, Gerald, so thank you. The OTV for lorries, yeah. Be compliant whenever you can. Nadala ngozimba business that you want to stay. Mwamulo was antino business has to do to zidi compliant. Zidi compliant. Either you realize that the only time that weba mujako business, which was Crane Bank, ojakusanga ina compliance issues, is that ziba besinga kukumujako business ye. Uchitegera. Non-compliance has led people to go down. Chechimwe chatuka kusamona. Ijasanga ina non-compliance issues. Uchitegera. So ne kasuru property consultant mujukiro guy yasoke nadala kola real estate. Era naye one of the issues he had was compliance issues. So try as much as possible to be compliant. Okitegeera bw'oba ogenda kukola, for example you want to start a factory, be compliant in any way possible. Okitegeera ndowooza compliance ngikavarinze gwe, just know what guidelines you need to follow to be considered a good businessman. Njagala kuba ku masimu ate ne simu era gyenkubisa, so nyina obasiibula nkubuko masimu. Joshua Antonio, Samuel Sisi musomesa, Martha director Martha Academy, Mathias Serunjoji, Funny Lifestyle, Polycarp Amosh, Hashim Jombwe Juma, Moses Heath, Lucky Mose, Chris Fitness Luburwa, Juko Akram Junju, Simon Ebeneza, Himbisiwe Dennis, Kavuma Farouk, Mutumba Pade, Peace Joseph, Chairman Zach, Deep in Coffee, Hanaba Joshua, Asisi Ferdinand, Abi Bukenya, Deep in Coffee Skogede, Isaac Luyirika oyo architect abagambi aina plot ekiwawu 34 kilometers from Busega. Awono wali okusinga ewange lwakuba nti eri ku main road. King Daniels, Karemire Gordon, Steve Barros, Isaac Nkumaze, Hanaba Joshua, Toddy Ronald, and Gerald Sonko, and Stephen Luzige, Moses Bakashaba Ruhanga Bakasaba Katonda. That's what it means, right? Yeah, thank you for being part of this broadcast, guys. I'll see you tomorrow in the morning. May God bless you, and I hope we've learned something. Of course, I've learned something that the app I want to design might actually cost more than